time to check out the finale, episode 6. And I know at the end of it, it's just gonna make me go, oh, they're gonna bring in like an episode 7 or another season, or the next chapter of the whole trilogy. I guess this would be the first trilogy, and another 6 episodes is the second part of the trilogy, and then another 6 for the third part of the trilogy, the finale. Then we eventually move on to G1. All right, so anyways, let's just check it out. Just finished watching episode 6. Wow, that was a really great episode. I knew that the final episode, the finale, was going to be the best one. That was spectacular. Action-packed from beginning to end. It was just straight up action. And I'm just thinking to myself, what is going to happen next? Because this is only the 6th episode. There's got to be more. Obviously, there's got to be more. They're calling it the War for Cybertron trilogy. So I guess this first 6 episodes was a siege, because they were trying to siege the Ark. The Decepticons were trying to siege Ark. I guess maybe the next season or chapter is going to be called something else. Anyways, love this episode. Like I said, just action packed. I loved it. So let's just start from the beginning. So we have the Terracons, if you will. I'll just call it that. And okay, they did Moonracer dirty. Even though we never really got to see Moonracer until now. I confuse her with Chromia all the time, because like I really don't know which is which. But anyways, Moonracer, like, they ripped off her arm in episode 5, and then she was just left with a body, and I'm like, no way. And what was really disappointing to me, this is really disappointing, is that they could have easily saved her. Those Terracons were they were so easy to defeat, and then it just felt like they took so long for them to finally kill them. They were just like in shock and awe, and like what are these things, Optimus? What do we do? Dude, they're coming so close to you. They're approaching. Blast them. You could see how easily at the end, at the very last minute, it was so easy to slice them up. It was so easy to blast them. It was so easy to punch them out. But they waited till the last minute, and then Moonracer had to die for it. And then she didn't even get any proper acknowledgement. So they really did her dirty. That was my first complaint about this episode. That really did not need to happen, okay? Okay, but this was still a very interesting concept that they decided to bring in. I actually really like the idea of these Terracons trying to look for life. They're seeking life in the Allspark. But I'm thinking, does this happen to all dead Cybertronians? Do they just end up here like a kind of soulless zombie in the Sea of Rust? Like, is that... I mean, they've only heard of it as a rumor. Some people, like some of the Autobots, only heard about it. They didn't fully know about it, but they should know about it. It's like the Cybertronian resting home or something. I don't know. It's just it's an interesting concept that I wanted to know more about, but I think they're not going to explore it again. I just have a feeling, because they already found the Allspark, and that was that. So in a way, that's kind of a plot hole, but it's just a cool idea. So there you have it. But yeah, they were so easy to get taken out. That was really unfortunate that Moonracer had to go like that. And you know what I noticed is that they're always seeing all of those Terracons. I'm just gonna keep on calling them Terracons. It was just nothing but clones. Like, there was a Sideswipe clone. I think there was a Mirage clone. There was a Ironhide clone, which leads me to believe that they only make these. Whoever manufactured, the Quintessons, when they manufactured these Autobots and Decepticons, or rather the Cybertronians, they only made them in certain images. Like, they only made certain types. There isn't like thousands and thousands of unique looks to them, appearances. Like, when you notice during the siege of the Ark, there were so many Reflector clones. It's not just the Seekers that have clones. Reflector has so many different clones. So... yeah, that's that. I guess this is the last time we'll ever see Sound Blaster, which is a little bit disappointing in my opinion, because Sound Blaster had a very grand creation, grand origins, and then, like, I really don't feel like we're ever going to see Sound Blaster again, because, like, he did his part. He supplied the Energon, which, by the way, when I saw all that Energon, and when I saw RC and Cog and Bumblebee being the only ones who are there to retrieve the Energon, I was thinking to myself, how much Energon do they need to power the Ark? How much do they really need? They only need 2 pieces. That's it. That is all they need, and they couldn't find that, and they had to go through this giant stockpile just to get 2 little pieces? Come on, give me a break. It's funny that I'm mentioning all this stuff. I seem to be complaining about it, even though this was my favorite episode. This was my favorite episode in the sense that it was action-packed. And it was very grand because, suddenly you see Omega Supreme. He's the Guardians. He's one of the Guardians. So Omega Supreme took a side, and he said he wasn't going to fight, but then he took a side. And then that was a cool grand entrance, which is super awesome because when I saw that, I was like, oh, Omega Supreme. And the crazy part was that we actually saw him in the teaser. I completely forgot about him. And then he shows up in a grand scale. Now, what's really also, now I'm mentioning disappointing things, okay? There are cool things, but they're disappointing things. Okay, we did get to see Megatron transform into a tank. The use of his tank was very, very brief, okay? But Optimus Prime and Megatron didn't really get to fight. Come on, you could not call that a fight, all right? It was cool to see them go at it, but that was in no way the fight that I was looking for. I was looking for more along the lines of Optimus versus Megatron on that dam with ball and chain, and with a Morning Star and the axe. That was a grand fight in G1. Where they had that duel, that mono duel. This wasn't it. This had the help of other elements, and on top of that, Optimus Prime was weak again, just like he was in the first episode. He didn't really show him who's boss. It's like the Megatron and the Decepticons always have the upper hand, which is a theme. But I really wanted to see Optimus prevail. And when I was watching this episode, I really felt like, okay, I really like the voice of Megatron, and the reason why is because they kept on changing the voice of Megatron throughout. Okay, there's G1, there was Transformers Prime, there was the movies, and now this one. So I'm used to Megatron going through voice changes, okay? And I actually like this voice. I like the voice actor who plays the Megatron. Optimus Prime, I'm still not used to that at all. I'm not used to Optimus Prime's voice at all. It just seems so different because Optimus Prime was always played by Peter Cullen for so many different series, right? So I'm just so used to it. And with the movies being so dominant and so huge, right, in the way they are, right? Optimus Prime did definitely needed to be played by Peter Cullen, so that didn't work out for me. Man, it's weird. I said this was my favorite episode, but at the same time, I'm listening to so many complaints. Impactor took the shot for Ratchet. It really showed that he was really loyal to his cause. That was really cool to see. Definitely a great moment where you get to see that it's not just good versus evil. There's also the bad guys who are really who are not just defecting, but showing that they're not sure why they're really doing that, and they weren't really sure of what Megatron was really trying to achieve, but it wasn't what they wanted to achieve. And Jetfire actually put more emphasis on that. And Megatron truly showed. There was a scene where Megatron showed to us as an audience that it kind of proved my point where the Decepticons don't see themselves as bad, or at least Megatron's beliefs isn't what he believes is bad. He says, look around, look at Optimus, and look at what they're doing. Do we have to keep on dying? How many more Cybertronians need to die because of you? Maybe that's just the Decepticon thing. Maybe he's just being deceptive, but it really shows, it really makes the other Decepticons who are following him make them believe that, hey, we're doing the right thing, right? So, yeah. It's very interesting that some Autobots stayed behind. There was a Chromia, RC, was it Chromia and RC? No. Anyways, Elita 1 and Chromia and Jetfire and Red Alert. Red Alert didn't die. Thank God for that. Oh my God. If Red Alert died, I would have lost it. Okay, maybe not, but still, I did not like that. I wouldn't have liked if he just fell to his doom and died just like that. I was like, oh shit. Sorry. Anyways, did that have to happen? Anyways, so I'm glad that didn't happen. But it's cool that some Autobots stayed behind because it's really leading more into what we know as G1, right? Because we didn't see all those Autobots go to Earth, right? So I'm seeing the puzzle come together. There's some Autobots staying behind, and they really don't know what the fate of the Autobots on the Ark. So it's so cool to actually. This is the moment where I feel like I really like Elita 1, where she's really truly the commander, the one that defies Optimus, the one that always questions Optimus. I didn't like how she was always doing that, but I actually liked her because it really showed in this episode that she was always strong, but I like that she's taking charge now. I'm gonna lead who's left of the Autobots on Cybertron. I'm gonna fight for that cause, and I'm going to be the Autobot protector of Cybertron. I'm gonna keep on fighting for the Autobots, right? So that was really awesome. That really was very heartfelt. So very, very cool. And so we're led to believe that the Ark exploded because Elita 1 was like, "Oh my God, did they make it? I don't think so," right? Or whatever she said. And then Teletran 1 blinks and goes, incoming ship. So it must be the Nemesis Prime. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's the Decepticon ship. So yeah, very excited for that. So this is just the beginning. Then we're probably gonna see the Ark and the Nemesis crash on different planets, just like they did in episodes season 3 and 4. They're visiting different planets throughout the universe. They probably might encounter in Junkion or the different planets that they will encounter. There's some weirdly shaped planets in seasons 3 and 4, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting before they finally get to Earth. Who knows how many seasons this is going to run for, but I hope they have a well laid out story that it just doesn't keep on going. Of course, more is good, but still, let's see where it really comes down to. And there's more to this story than what we just seen. What happened before this? It's kind of like Star Wars, where what happened before, there's the Knights of the Old Republic, right? But I want to know the defiance between Optimus Prime and Megatron. I want to see that. I want to see them as brothers. We didn't get to see that. So hopefully the movie, directed by Josh Cooley, explores that, because I wanted to really see that. I'm so curious now what happened before these first 6 episodes, because there's definitely more. I want to see the true origins of the Cybertronians, Autobots, Decepticons, Quintessons, and all that stuff. I want to see that, right? Anyways, that's all I got to say. Very, very good episode. Definitely loved this series. I got to see more. Just like every other fan out there, I got to see more. Okay, there's so much more. Anyways, my name is Alex, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.